Howdy friends, hey, welcome back to my game room. The game this week is called Puluk. It's also sometimes called Belize and Bull and several other names. It was requested by a viewer some months ago, and I'm finally getting around to putting it on. I apologize for the delay. This is a very old game which hails from the mountains of Guatemala and Belize. As far as we can tell, it's over 200 years old, maybe more. Now, this has been called an ancient Mayan game. I guess it depends on how you define ancient as well as how you define Mayan. It hasn't been proven that the roots of the game are pre-Columbian, and evidence is found carved in rock and preserved in other very ancient relics. The Ketchi Indians in Guatemala and Belize still play the game, the most popular version of the game. There's actually 5 different versions of the game. Let me cheat a little bit here. Please forgive my Mayan. I'm a little bit rusty. Aj is a version of the game called the ant. Aj is the eagle. Aj is the scorpion. Aj is the warrior ant. And Akaakil is fire. In 1906, a German anthropologist named Karl Sapper published a set of rules for Puluk, and that set of rules was translated into English by the famous R.C. Bell, the game historian. That was in 1960, and those have become the de facto rules ever since. The game board was described as being delineated by a row of corn cobs. But generally, like a lot of ancient traditional games, the playing surface can be improvised. Rows of sticks or scratches in the dirt kind of thing, as well as professionally made or artisan-made game boards. What I have here, my little mock-up, is a reproduction of one that looks kind of like it was painted mosaic or something to that effect. And then I'm using small poker chips for the pieces. So let's take a quick look now on the how to play animation so that you can see how Puluk works, and then we'll come back afterwards and wrap up the video. Each player starts with 5 discs lined up on the player's near space. This space represents their home city, which they defend and from which they launch their attacks. A set of 4 stick dice are used to determine the movement. The active player takes up the 4 sticks in their fist, holding them vertically a few inches off the playing surface. They open their hand to release the sticks. How these sticks land indicates the movement available for that turn. In Puluk, 1 flat side up is a 0. That is, the player does not get to move at all. As one would expect, 2, 3, or 4 sticks flat side up indicates a move of 2, 3, or 4. And no flat sides up equals a move of 5 spaces. Each turn, a player casts the stick dice and moves a piece accordingly. One very important note about movement is that only one active piece of a given color can occupy a space outside the cities. Sometimes this results in an unusable die result and the turn is lost. Stacking pieces is an essential aspect of the game. A piece that lands on an enemy piece captures that piece, and that's actually meant more literally than in most games of conflict. The lower piece is captured, taken prisoner, and when the upper piece moves, the prisoner is taken along with it. But a piece can also capture an enemy piece which has captured their own piece. In this case, the uppermost piece takes control of both lower pieces and moves them all together. There are a couple of restrictions. One can't land on one's own piece directly, and one cannot capture an enemy piece in its own home city. When a piece moves into or beyond an enemy city, that piece, and any friendly pieces under it, are freed and returned to their home. The enemy pieces who had been captured along the way are, however, eliminated from the game. and the game ends immediately when all of one player's pieces are either eliminated or captured. One of the aspects of stick dice that is very important to a game like this is the number 2 will come up more often than any other. Statistically, it's almost half the time will be a 2. The 1 and the 3 come up next in line, and the most rare is 4 round sides up. That's only like 6%. So knowing that the 2 is the most common, you can kind of plan your moves ahead a little bit. It's a fun and challenging little game, and I hope you get a chance to enjoy it one day soon. And so, like I always say, be sure to play every day.